All right, first graders. So today we're going to read the last chapter of Frog and Toad Are Friends. And before we read it, I want you to think about Arnold Lebel, that's the author. He called this book Frog and Toad Are Friends. There's lots and lots of books about Frog and Toad, but this one is called Frog and Toad Are Friends. And in each story, Arnold Lebel, he tried to show you about how Frog and Toad are friends. How are they good friends to each other? What do they do or say or feel that makes them good friends to each other? And something that we've noticed across all of these chapters of this book is that Frog is always helping Toad. In the very first chapter, Spring, Frog was helping Toad wake up from hibernation. Then in the next one, A Story, Toad couldn't think of a story, couldn't think of a story, couldn't think of a story. And Frog showed him that he couldn't think of a story was a story. He helped Toad. Then in chapter 3, when we thought about the lost button, Frog helped Toad through that whole entire chapter looking for buttons. Now today in this chapter, we're going to see Frog help Toad again. So look carefully and listen carefully for the times where Frog is helping Toad, because after you finish reading, your writing assignment today is to write about how Frog helps Toad. So pay close attention so you're ready to tell people about how Frog helps Toad. Let's read. The letter. Toad was sitting on his front porch. Frog came along and said, "What's the matter, Toad? You are looking sad." That's nothing new, is it? We see Toad, he's pretty emotional, so he gets really sad, he gets really happy and excited. Let's see what happens next. "Yes," said Toad, "this is my sad time of day. It is the time when I wait for the mail to come. It always makes me very unhappy." "Why is that?" asked Frog. "Because I never get any mail," said Toad. "Not ever?" asked Frog. "No, never," said Toad. "No one has ever sent me a letter. Every day my mailbox is empty. That is why waiting for the mail is a sad time for me." Frog and Toad sat on the porch feeling sad together. Pause. I thought Toad was just being dramatic, but actually that is pretty sad. It's pretty sad that he's never gotten a letter ever in the mail. Let's see what happens next. Then Frog said, "I have to go home now, Toad. There is something that I must do." And Frog hurried home. He found a pencil and a piece of paper. He wrote on the paper. Seems like maybe he's going to do something to help Toad. Let's see what it's going to be. He put the paper in an envelope. On the envelope, he wrote, "A letter for Toad." Frog ran out of his house and he saw a snail that he knew. Excuse me. "Snail," said Frog, "please take this letter to Toad's house and put it in his mailbox." "Sure," said the snail, "right away." Frog ran back to Toad's house. Toad was in bed taking a nap. "Toad," said Frog, "I think you should get up and wait for the mail some more." "No," said Toad, "I am tired of waiting for the mail." Frog looked out of the window at Toad's mailbox. The snail was not there yet. "Toad," said Frog, "you never know when someone might send you a letter." "No, no," said Toad, "I do not think anyone will ever send me a letter." There goes Toad, being dramatic again. And here's Frog helping him. He's trying to get him to go look for the mail because he's going to get some mail. Let's see what happens. Frog looked out the window. The snail was not there yet. "But Toad," said Frog, "someone may send you a letter today." "Don't be silly," said Toad. "No one has ever sent me a letter before, and no one will send me a letter today." Frog looked out of the window. Snail was still not there. Frog, why do you keep looking out of the window? Asked Toad. Because now I am waiting for the mail, said Frog. But there will not be any, said Toad. Oh, yes, there will be, said Frog, because I have sent you a letter. You have, said Toad. What did you write in the letter? Frog said, I wrote, Dear Toad, I am glad that you are my best friend. Your best friend, Frog. Oh, said Toad, that makes a very good letter. Then Frog and Toad went out to the porch to wait for the mail, and they sat there feeling happy together. Frog and Toad waited a long time. 4 days later, the snail got to Toad's house and gave him the letter from Frog. Toad was very pleased to have it. Wow, that letter took so long to come. It's kind of like when you send something in the real mail with the post office. It usually takes maybe 2, maybe 3 days to come. It depends on where you're mailing something to. The snail was so slow. So let's think, how did Frog help Toad in this chapter? We already know he helped him so much in all the other chapters. He helped him look for his button in the lost button. He didn't give up. He helped him think of a story in the story. He helped him feel comfortable about his bathing suit in a swim. He helped him wake up from hibernation in spring. How did Frog help Toad in this chapter? That was a really good idea you had. I can't wait to see what you write in your writing assignment today. Make sure you write and tell me, how did Frog help Toad? It doesn't have to be just in this chapter. You can talk about all the ways that Frog helped Toad, but make sure to include some details from this chapter, the letter. How does Frog help Toad? What does he do? What does he say that helps Toad either feel happy or be comfortable or solve a problem? How does Frog help Toad? Make sure you press turn in on this assignment after you finish watching the video. Have a good day.